What's happening, everybody? I'm gonna do a little video here of my walk to town, which I have found out it's about 40 minutes down the hill, and it's downhill, so it's a good little stroll and warm up of the legs. I am quite sore. If I've uploaded the video from last night, which I'm debating whether or not I want to or not, from the middle of the night when I couldn't sleep and I was just so sore, it was kind of a downer, but honest, vulnerable. I'm just working out that soreness right now, but I want to show this is pretty cool. This is what the Forest Service does when they implement the Quincy Library Group plan for forest management, and that is excellent work. Now, I mean, my idea is, of course, that all those piles should be burned, piecemeal in fire pits over time, and as you're doing it. But that's really steep up there, so that's an athletic endeavor. You got to be very fit to be able to get up there and with your saw and your axe, and that's a lot of labor. That is a lot of labor. I feel like I'm in District 11 in Hunger Games. I really do. I kind of am. Well, look down here. It's all been mulched, and yeah, that's beautiful. That's a properly managed forest. In fact, this is what I want to go to school for. I just need a piece of paper that says I know what I'm doing, and then they'll really leave me alone. So it's all in due time. I mean, it's kind of hard to go to school when you're running for your life from the law, which unfortunately, I still am. Kind of funny. What can you do? I'm trying to get my angles better on these filming episodes. Selfie cam or regular cam. I need to start on regular cam to show. Look at that, goes way up that ridge. Oh, they've been back here doing some work, putting in the work. That's awesome. And I think it's only a matter of time before they work to where the car is. Which, whatever is what it is. I prefer to have the car functional in town, but it's also nice to have a fortress in the woods. A mighty fortress is our God. So that's what's going on. I'm just getting a little snapshot of my morning. Feeling it last night. I mean, we busted our ass for Mikey, the three of us, Matt and Evan and myself. And I only started at noon, and Mikey was already tired by the time we got there. And I don't know if they drove all the way to Eureka, but if they did, God bless them. I hope they made it. Oh, I'm always looking for new hiking staffs. So there's this one or this one. This one still has bark on it. Yeah, this one. And can be processed, except it's now too short. Life is too short. Well, there's a thought that counts, I guess. Yeah, always looking for hiking sticks. It's kind of one of my justifications for being out here. One of my little hobbies is just pick up hiking sticks, carve them out, prepare them for people. There's one. See it? Do you see it? Do you see it? Oh, it's forked. No? Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. And so that's white fir. One way you can tell it's white fir. First of all, the bark is a kind of a silverish. You smell it? Yeah, it's white fir. But the trunks, especially on the medium size, like teenage trees, here's some right here actually, have the pitch pockets. So I guess today we'll do a little woodsman instruction. Here we go. So here's a white fir, silver tip, and the pockets are really small. Sometimes the pockets are big, and you can pop them like a big zit on your back, and you can gather that pitch and put it on a stick for as a torch. It'll burn for like half an hour. It's a nice little, if you don't have a flashlight, and it's getting dark. You don't want to, I mean, you could gather it when it's in the dark, but, if you're walking into the woods, say maybe perhaps you're like running from the authorities for some reason, and you weren't able to grab a flashlight, or your flashlight has dead batteries, it's in your pocket. Not that I've been in this situation recently, but I have. You can find some healthy young white fur teenagers and go gather the pitch on a stick and burn that as a torch. It'll get you to where you're going, or probably. Such is life. Well, it's also a good fire starter. We like pitch pockets. We used to go at the mill. It's a nice little walk, but I think when I point the camera that way, it's too bouncy without a gimbal. Here comes the wind, so you're gonna hear that. We used to get, we ran Ponderosa pine for common lumber, not for dimension lumber, not for building, but for like doors and sills and stuff. It was 1 by, not 2 by. Every once in a while, a board would come out that was solid pitch, fat wood, and we would, all three of us, would be like, chop it up, and we'd run out. We'd each take a turn, run out to the hog, they call it, the conveyor belt that runs all of our trim from the mill to the cogen. In fact, cogen plant that generates electricity to run the kilns and sells it back to the grid. So, but we would run out to the belt and grab a couple of the 2 foot by 12 inch was ideal. 12 inch by pitch pine, and then we would cut that up for kindling for at home or for camping. It's fatwood, Georgia fatwood they call it. We like fatwood. So here's an area that has not been managed the same way, but it's still, it's been allowed to revegetate with manzanita, which is good. Coming out of fire, evidence of fire. Maybe God had a fire out here. Yeah, obviously he did at some point. So I gotta say that Quincy is doing a lot of things right in their management of the forest and their implementation of a plan that was formed 20-something years ago, Quincy Library Group, and I was involved with the Forest Service at the time, processing all the mailers, the postcard mailers into the Forest Service to complain about the Quincy Library Group or to support it, but very, very rare was it supported. It was actually opposed vehemently by, guess who? The Sierra Club. Robert Redford spearheaded a campaign to oppose this type of forest management. Well, Mr. Redford, what are we supposed to do? Just let it all burn? That was nice. Nice little parked out. That's old school forest management in here and there. And the new is the piles, probably in the last 3 years since the Dixie fire that burned 1 million acres, one fire. So, it opened my eyes to like the hypocrisy of the Sierra Club, because what do they want? They had a picture on the postcard of like an overgrown but all natural, overgrown and fire unsafe stand of forest as their example of what they wanted. And that's the kind of forest that just turns into a matchbox with louder fuels and becomes an inferno and destroys communities and creates trauma and displaces people. We do live here, it's our right to live in proximity to the forest. My whole premise is that we need to interact with the forest intimately and be actually permitted to live in these environments, and so interact with these environments, and so pick up the pine cones and the detritus and the duff and the twigs and the fallen dead trees and remove the snags for our own firewood. This is what we used to do, and this is why there were not catastrophic fires in the past. If you want to, I can't put too fine a point on it, and I can't really be clearer in my philosophy. Officer White, and whatever your task is, keeping me off the land, you're causing the problem that you're purporting to solve. So, by the way, I had this conversation with a at the Methodist Church at the supper on Wednesday with a gentleman who's like 75 years old, retired Forest Service, 31 years with the Forest Service. He's a backpacker, adventurer, like an assistant pastor at the church, I think. Really nice man. He says, we had a 5-minute conversation about this and what I'm going through and why and how I'm resisting, and etc. And he said, you remind me of Edward Abbey. Like, that might be the greatest compliment anyone's ever given me. I love Edward Abbey. Desert Solitaire. If I'm getting close to town, I can hear power tools. I see it. This is a spread up here. Someone has a whole operation. So I'm going to wrap this video up. We're over 10 minutes. It's a good morning vlog for the 10/10/25. October 10th, 2025. I do love it. I'll be in town in about 15 minutes. I'm going to do some videos there. That's what's going on. God bless America, y'all. Over and out. Oh, I got gloves on. And sometimes they work for hitting the button. Sometimes they don't. Let's do that again. God bless America. Over and out. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep.